Yes, let's try to build something. I think it's going to be a simple project. We'll be using this Visual Studio as text editor, then SQL Server Management Studio as our database. So we're going to create a simple library system, basically to have those fundamental of C Sharp. Basically, it's going to be a Windows application as we're doing last time. So let me try to just show you what are we going to build and how are you going to, first of all, have to understand the project that we are going to build, and then it's going to be easy to implement it. It's a library management system where you will be having those three tables. There is a member table, there is a book table, and there is this borrow table. The borrow table, as you can see, this is the primary table. Uh, it's a simple, please take it as simple. We're going to make a simple management of library. We're going to manage those members with this table of member. So let's try taking this simple fields, which is member ID, which is the primary key, full name, phone, email address, and grand date. Basically, from this table, you can try to insert a new member, update them, and delete. Maybe trying to display all the members in the DataGridView, and then validate some required field if needed. And the member ID, as you can see, it's a primary key. Uh, let this be unique and auto incremented. We're going to see when we'll be implementing it. And on the second one, this is the manage book in the library, where here we'll be having some few fields, so we can add more or just reduce depending on the time. And then from this, that's where we're trying to basically have a book ID, which is a primary key, the title, the author, the ISBN, then publisher, and then you can make some created that or updated that, something like that. Then what I'm going to do on this table, I can try to insert a new book, update book, delete book, display all books, publish year must be numeric, for example. Uh, and book ID must be unique as it's a primary key. Let's try to make it unique. And the last not least, this is the main relational table. It's connected the book and this member table. So the field is borrow ID, member ID, book ID, borrow date, due date, and the return status. Anything can add some few field when needed. Basically, from here, as you can see, we can connect this book table using this book ID, which is a foreign key from here. Then this member ID, which is a foreign key in the borrow table. Okay, let's try to first design this in SQL Server Management Studio. And what you'll be learning from this, you're going to understand how to set those primary keys, the foreign keys, the relationships, uh, and how to just create a database, because I'm going to create a new database, then create those tables using a database diagram, not writing some queries. And yeah, this is the lesson of today. We connect three tables, member, book, and borrow. Borrow is the main table, store members ID and books ID as foreign keys. We're going to use some join to display names instead of IDs. Then this is how the real system works. So let's go. when hope everyone have this SQL Server Management Studio, we are going to just connect and try to connect it. You have your server name. I usually have many server names, but let me try to this localhost. The easiest way, just trust server certificate, then connect. When connecting, there's this object explorer. Please come here. There is some databases that I have already, but to make it easy, let me try to create a new database. Right click, new database. Let's call it library management system, for example, or library MIS. Easy as that. Then try to say okay. Then there is this library management information system. Let's try to go in database diagram. Say there is this database does not have one or more of the support objects required to use database diagram. Do you wish to create them? Then say yes. Then it's going to take some time when creating them. Easy. Okay. Since this say close, just right click when creating new tables. Let's have this table called member. Okay, let me check. What are the fields we just need from the member table? We want member ID. Let's say it's an integer. Want full name and varchar 50. Okay. Phone int or varchar. Then email and varchar. Address and varchar. Okay. Then we already have this table. I'll be quick. Hope you're able to understand what is an varchar. It's just a string. Then int is an integer because we have too many data types. There is nchar and text, numeric, real, everything. We have too many data types, but let's consider this and try to implement them. And then right click on this white space, then new table. Let's call it book. Then I want to have book ID and title and worker author and worker, yes, pen and worker, publisher and worker, then last not least publisher here. This is a date time, yes. Okay, now easy for us. There is this join table, join date, for example, that we just forget from here. Date time, yes, yes. Okay, now we have the second table and our main table, which is borrow ID and worker. We have member ID. When it's come to foreign keys, please, to avoid some errors when moving on, check from the primary table member ID is an int. Then when coming on the main table, which is this primary table, make it as int. Just have same data types to avoid some errors. Then book ID int. As you can see, book ID is an int. Then let's keep it as int on this primary table. Then borrow date, date time, due date. Okay, let's keep due date. Let's have like return status and vacuum. Yes, this is the first step when implementing this. As you can see, we are done with the database design. The next is flow is just to set the primary keys and then make some relationships, just implement them, and then it'll be okay with the DB. Okay, yes. Let's try to set the primary key. When setting the primary key, come on this member ID, right click, set primary key. Book ID, right click, set primary key. Borrow ID, right click, then set primary key. And the next is making the foreign keys. As you can see from this picture, member ID is foreign key from this member table, which is the primary key table. Then book ID is a foreign key from this primary table book. Yes, let's try to implement that. Just come on member ID, right click, properties, right click, relationships, just add. As you can see, there is no relationship implemented already. Just add, come on table and column specification. There is these three dots, click them. Then there is, as you can see, the foreign key table is borrow. Then they're asking which primary key table are you going to implement. Just come on member. Then from the foreign key table, which column are you going to consider when implementing it? Let's consider the member ID. Then what is the primary key from the member table? Member ID. Then say okay, now it's added, right? Then for the second relationship, then try to add a new relationship. Then come on the three dots. Yes, the foreign key table is born. Then the primary key table, let's use book. Then which primary key column I'm going to consider? Book ID. To which foreign key column here is a book ID, right? Then okay, it says the following data type program DB, the normal dose of DB, data type length and precision. Okay, let's check what happened. There is this unused relationship that just came here. As you can see on book table, it says book ID can't allow null, right? Then when coming on the borrow, which is the main table, it says, which is the foreign key table, book ID can allow null. Let's try to disable this. Then come back here, relationship. Let's try to repeat the same process. Book table, which column? book ID, book ID from the foreign key table. Same error. Try to come from here. I want to check what happened from here. Same thing. Book table, book ID, borrow table, then book ID. Just one moment and check what is happening from here. Sometimes there is those errors that you can. Okay. Book ID. It's an int, right? Book ID, sorry, book ID. Add for borrow. Then member. Then it's okay. I just started from book, then member, and it's just happened and it's running now. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have the database design, then we have the primary key implemented and foreign keys implemented. Next for is just to save this diagram. As you can see, when you come from our database view tables, there is no table up to now. So let me try to save them. Just Control S. I just call it like library diagram. Yeah, the following table will be saved to your database. Yes. Yes. Then when going back to our database, try to expand the tables. As you can see, you have those tables: book table, member table, and borrow table. Easy, right? Okay. So the next thing is to design the forms. When designing the form, okay, let me try to enter some data, then try to see what happened when, if we can be able to save from our database and be able to just have those foreign keys implemented easier. The last one, not least, is to set those primary keys auto incremented. How to do this? Come back on your database, then tables, right click on this table, book table, go on design, then there is this called identity column, then say book ID. Yeah, then you click save. Go back on member, design, identity column, choose member ID. Then there is this borrow, design, identity column. Just from here, I think I'm trying to check. You must use borrow ID. I'm trying to get the borrow ID. It's not there. me set them from here. There is this is identity specification. Where there is no, just come here. Have a drop down. Okay. So let's move on. As you can see, when we're on this table called book table, there is this identity specification. When you expand it, there is this yes. Is identity yes? And there is no. You have to choose between. When you say yes, that's mean that this column is going to be incremented, and it's going to be identity. It's going to start from 1. If you want to, can even start by 100. And when I enter a new record, it's going to be 101, 100, 101, 102. Let me try to say this, then try to save. And when it goes on the member table, the same thing. Member table, just right click, design, then check this. Let's say for member table, it's going to start from is identity, yes. I'm going to start from 1. Let's make it as simple. Then Control S to save those changes. And then we're having the 3 tables. Let's try to add manual those member and book ID, book table, borrow table, manual. Then I'll be able to just retrieve them when I'm going to be inserting those new data through the forms. So let's say it Maurice 078 this email address 12/12/2000. Enter the second column, registre phone number, register gmail.com, address Kichukiro, then let's go back to the member table. Just right click, select top 2000 rows. Then you're able to have those members with this auto incrementation from the member ID 1, 2, 3 until then. Then let's try to add the manually those books. The only difference to this book is going to the book ID is going to start from 100 as we just set them from there. Then edit top 2000 data rows. Then C# book cherry is 100 publisher just 12/12/24. Enter Java yes. Then when come back to this box, you have those data. As you can see, it just started by 1, which was the settled. Then the second is going to be 101, 102. Basically, it's from here. Let me check this properties. There is a settled, which is I didn't show you the design, book design. Yes. there is this identity set. That's why you have this one. After one is 100, 101, 102, 104. Yes. And as you can see, we have those let me try to delete to just reduce this thing. This is the member table, right? You have the two members, right? Then we also have, let me try to just borrow member box. Yes. You have two books. We have also the two, just the two, sorry, don't save, right? Yes, that is it. We have the two members. We have also the two books, right? Then try to make a borrow using a query insert into this. This is a diagram, right? Let me use the edit top 2000. Borrow ID is going to be auto incremented. Member ID, we have this member with two. Let's say change this with two as the member ID. The book ID, there is this 101. 101 borrow date, return status is say borrowed. Okay, you know the reason why we didn't set the borrow ID as auto incremented. So let's try to this design, then check is identity specification. Let's say yes. Okay, before even setting it, when it's no, that's mean you have to set ourselves the just this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? We have to set ourselves this borrow ID. This is 100. When I click save, then I right click, there is a select top. But think about having too many data, then we'll be setting ourselves the borrow ID, the borrow ID, the borrow ID. That's why you have to come on the borrow table, set it as auto incremented. Then when we save the second record, it's going to just auto increment the first one. Okay, borrow, there is this design, right? Let's say auto incremented. You can just set the auto incremented or just leave it. Let's try to just make it simple. And then from this record, as you can see, the member with ID 2 run list borrow this book ID 101, which is the Java, to this given date, and the state is just borrowed, right? And this is the first record. As you can see, everything we are doing in the database, we're trying to have it through those Windows Form application. So now we are moving to the Windows Form application. I think everyone have this Visual Studio 2022. There is also 2025 for those who are just downloading it. But for now, let me use 2024, 22, because this is the one that I was using the recent date, and I'm familiar with it. Let's say to create a new project. As you can see up to now, I think everyone is able to just design the DB, set those primary keys and foreign keys, and be able to check through those queries, try to understand if you can set and have those data registered successfully. So the next step, which is the next part, you're going to design the forms, those text, toolbox, everything. Then we'll be moving to the C# code, the backend, try to understand how it's going to work. So let's try to use, it's a Windows form application. Yes, this one, Windows Form application with .NET framework. Remember, we have this Visual Basic, then we have C Sharp. Just show this C Sharp. And then let's call it library, my MIS tutorial. Then click create. And up to now, we are creating our project. And then we'll be having three forms, the one for book management, member management, and then the last not least is going to be the borrow management. As you can see, when creating a new project, there is this default form, which is form 1, which is auto generated, and the one running it, remember, going to program.cs, that's why I just set the run form. When running, this form just come first. Let me try to run. This is the run application.runner. When running it just come automatically as it have been auto generated. If you want, you can create our forms, then be able to just, as you can see, we have this form, the empty form. So let me try to have it as a dashboard. We'll be having some buttons to navigate through our three forms that we are planning to implement. So let's go. So as you know, for this Windows Form application, we just do drag and drop, go on view, toolbox, then I have it here, pin it from there, then I have some label, then we'll be having some, then go on text, just try to change the text, library management system. Then let's go on font, try to increase the font, say 22, Microsoft Height, and bold oblique, yes. Then try to have something like a menu, which is a menu trip, like file, exit, for example. Then from file, something like manage members, manage books, manage borrows. Is it borrows or borrows? I think. No, just leave it. Then I can even change this back color. Should be something like this. Then I'm going to create this member form, book form, and the borrow form. Come on Solution Explorer, right click your project. There is this add new item. Then have something like member form. It's a form, Windows form. Then add. There is also the second way to do this. Let me try to create the book form using the other way. Come on project, add form. Then define the form name, book form. Then last not least is borrow form. Right? So let's start with the member form, right? Member form, which is this one. How many fields are we having? Let me check from our database. Member form, columns. We're going to have this full name, phone, email, address, join date. For join date, I think okay, you can either define it or just leave it. Then from the back end, you can try to get the join date, which is the date from now. Basically, when defining a member, you can say this is the time this member joined. You can just have full name, phone, email, and address, like for field, right? This is going to be a text box, phone a text box, email text box, and address text box. So let's go. Full name, phone, email, and address. Have a label, text box. Let me try to increase the font to be 16. Then I'll be deprecating this. Okay, let's try to have those text written. Interfall, like enter full name. We just have it as a placeholder, like full name placeholder. We're adding those placeholder. There is this email, phone, email, and address. Right? We're going to have also some buttons. I try to increase the font. We're having everything with 16, right? Save. Update. Delete. Then we're going to have like something like a grid view to display those data. So before renaming those text box. Let me try to just have this copy and paste on the book form. Then Solution Explorer. Then let me try to paste them. And then let me go back to the member form. Then try to edit those placeholders. Basically, when it's come to here, after designing the forms, please remember to just edit those placeholders, those text box, or because the values we've been inserting them there, we'll be calling those names from the text box. Please, when being here, after making your design with adding some color and everything, just move on and rename those text box. Try something for update, yeah, hang like this, right? Then delete or else right. Let me try to go to name, then be like full name box, something like this. Phone box, email box, sorry, there is the last one, which is address box. Okay, then this save, this call it save ptn. Basically, those buttons will be using them, their components. When having their names, it's easy to just call them or just make some checks and changes from them. Delete ptn. So let me try to make the same thing to the data grid view. Let me try to make this same thing to the book form. As you see, I just pasted those forms from the member form and try to edit the title, book management. Then the name is you see the book management with all member management. I didn't save it, right? So let me try to just continue with naming this. I make some pause, then rename, just name all those inputs. Then I come back after having those feed. Okay, let's proceed with book management. As you can see from our database, the book table have those columns: title, author, as SBN, publish and publish here. Just 5 feed, right? Let me try to have them. So I think you have this as I have it, right? This is the title box, the author box, ICBN box, publisher and publisher. Publisher, as you can see, we want to have a date time picker, right? Not rather than having this text box. Go in toolbox and search for date time picker. Okay, now you have it, right? Let me give it same font as those text box. Where is font? Font right. Just like make 16. Let me reduce it to make it more visible, like 10. Okay. So now it's okay. After designing the forms, so let me try to design also the borrow form. Borrow form, what are you going to have from the borrow form? Let's check from our database. There is this borrow form. How many columns? I'm going to have the member name, then the book title, borrow date, return. Borrow date, you can just set as now or now. Just leave it. Let's have the borrow member name, book title, and the return status. Okay, on status, you can just set it as it can have something like borrowed or anything like that. So let me try to have by now member name and book title, then just leave those other component, please. Label borrow management. Twenty. Who is borrowing this book? Just I'm going to select from our members. Then try to retrieve the book titles. Then as we're going to retrieve, we'll be using those combo box. Just I'm trying to make, just like don't check the design because I'm not even a good designer. So I'm trying just to show you how it's work. There's a button, save, delete, and update. Save, update, and delete. Then delete btn, just the component name, update btn, save btn. Member combo, then book combo. Then a data grid view, that's display. Something easy, right? Okay, good now. So let me try to start from the member form. First of all, I'm going to just connect my Visual Studio with my database. When going on View, Solution Explorer, select View, Server Explorer. As you can see, I had already some database connection. Try to remove them. Then let me try to add a new one, a new connection tools. Connect to database. Select which database you have. Then for me, it's my Microsoft SQL Server. Then I paste here my server name. How to get the server name? Go on your database, right click, properties, and then there is this server name. Copy, then paste it here, then press server certificate and select or enter database name. Basically, I'm going to get all the database that I have from my DB. Then for now, you know we are using library MIS test connection successfully. Okay, then yes. Then for now, I can be able to get the data source right, and I can be able to see all my tables at the right, at the left side. Can be able to retrieve those data and do everything. So the next step is to have the data source. How to have a data source? Before even having the data source, there is the app config where we used to write our, our configuration, right? But if, as you can see, I have this data source, but if you don't have it, right click your project name, add new item, then search for application application configuration, then you have this, then you add it, right? But I have it now, right? So from this application properties, that's where we use to add our configuration with the data source, the catalogs, and then those things, right? First of all, how to get the data source and the way to get it. How can we get this data source? Just right click your database properties, and then you have this connection string. You just copy it. As you can see, I have it here. This is my data source, my connection string with data source, with catalogs, and the catalog, as you know, is just the database name. Then there is this integrated security, which is true. Then when it's true, the trust server certificate is true. So basically, we want to have it. There's some people are going to get some errors. Remember to have trust server certificate in one word. Then I copy it, right. Where to add it? Just come in the configuration. Remember, in the configuration, we'll be having something like uh, connection string, right? The connection string have the add, where we add our name. Basically, I'm going to use this name. I'll be calling this name in my codes. Let me try to call it library. Okay, library connection. Then, after adding the name, we proceed with connection string. Sorry, I couldn't have crossed this, right? Connection string. Connection string, which is equal to our data source, and after that we have the last not least is provider name. What is our provider name? As I'm using SQL Server, is system dot data dot SQL client. Okay. Tag was not closed. I didn't close the tag, right? Then let me close it here. Okay, now I have my data source. Then the next step is just to move on, right? Moving on at the top of my form, as you know, please make sure that you have the system configuration, the system data, and the system data client from the member form. View codes from here. Please add the system dot configuration. This is the first thing to add. Then add system dot data, system dot data. Last not least, add system dot data dot SQL client. So after having the tree, step 2 is just to add our connection string before those functions. Just call it from the app config string con string equal configuration manager dot configuration manager dot connection string, right? String. I'm going to define my connection string, which is this one. Copy, paste there, dot connection string. But I'm having this error, right? Configuration manager. The name does not exist the current context. So let me try to install this configuration manager. You have to go on NuGet, right click your project. There is this manage NuGet, NuGet manage. Then try to browser from the store. There is no package. Browser system dot configuration. Am I having it? System dot configuration manager. This one. Just click install. There's this pop-up. Apply. Basically, for those people who can't even find data system dot data, who can't find system dot data SQL client, please come in the browser this, then install. After installing it, you can find them in the installed package from here, right? I think I don't even have those the data and SQL client. Let me try to install it. Data.sql client. This one, I'll try to install it too. And last not least, is system data thing. Yes, I have it already installed. Let me go back to my member form. Then, as you can see there, I don't have this error. So, another thing, right, is just to proceed with having all those things in the three forms to make it easier. Let me try to copy this data SQL client and configuration. Copy from this member form, then in the borrow form, let me have this, then in the book form also, let me try to have them here. So that is it, and let me try to add just call try to call this string connection in the three forms, how to make it quick and easy for everyone. Book, yes, as you can see, I already have those three forms with the connection string, which is calling this library connection from app config. And then the next step is just, so I'm trying to make this easier for everyone before even moving. So I'm starting with member form, right? This member form. Let me try to go view code. And let me first have function that's going to display those members in the grid view, right? Before even saving those ones that I have in the DB. So void, call it display members. So what I be doing here is just using SQL connection go to new, yes. Then have something, any of a string query, a query, right? What am I going to do here? Just to select. Let me go back in the DB. Basically, what I'm about to do is just to go in this member form, right? Member table, select top, right? Then have this query, select. So as I'm going to display all the column, I think it doesn't matter to just have all those columns specified. I can say only select all these. Like this one. Basically, I'm using this query from member. When I do execute, as you can see, I can be able to see them. Then let me go back to my query, just paste it, and then let me try to have a SQL data adapter, SDA equal to new SQL adapter. You're going to have our query, then our connection, right? Our con, this con connection, right? A data table, let me try to use a data table, dt equal to new data table, SDA, which is my SQL adapter, dot feed from the data table, right? and then my data grid view dot data source equal to dt, right? Then I'm good. Let me try to just call this from here, and then when I run my project, when I run it, I'm try to go and manage members. It can't go right. Let me try to have something saying like when click manage members, it's going to just show me the member form, right? Manage books, show me the book form. Manage borrows, then show me the borrow management form, right? Let me try to close this, then come back on form 1. As you remember, we are considering form 1 as our dashboard, then manage member. When you click manage member, just call the member form, go to new member form, mb dot show, just show it, right? Don't hide it. Then when it's come to borrow, where is this books, just call the books from big key equal to new book, right? What I'm trying to do here is just call the other form when clicked the button from the menu. And last not least, manage borrow, just call the borrow form, borrow the show, yes. Then let me try to run it. Okay, then let me try to go and manage members. Then as you can see, yes, I'm able to get those members from the DB, right? This is the display. So let me try to make, up to now I have this method of display which is displaying those data from the DB, right? Then let me try to just work on this save. When I be adding like set Maurice, phone number, email, then address. When I be clicking save, it's going to be saved automatically in this DB, right? Let me try to make it quick as possible, right? Let's go. Form, right? Is it member? Yes. Okay, being here, to make it easy, let me try to make the display of box also the same thing. Just come on the member, view code, we have this display members, just copy this, go on book form, view code, just have this function here for this, just call it display box. The only thing we'll be changing here is just the query book. Then also have our data grid view dot data source equal to dt, sorry, dt, which is the data fee. What we're trying to do here, we have this SQL data adapter which have our query. Our query is just select all from box. When you take this to make sure that you are going to be able to view them, then you just run it, you execute. I'm able to see those box, right? And then You are going to have a data table that is going to have that will be filling from that SQL data adapter, then view them from a data grid view. And when I'm trying, when I can try to just go back here, here, just close it, then so from here when I can try to just oh I have to call this display box right from the initializer so that when I run it I'll be able to display those data, those books from here, or we can even make generate a load form. Okay, then this is something like a refresh, then go back here, manage books, manage books. As you can see, I have also those books displayed, so I'm going to work on the save for member. At the same time, save for book, update for member, update for book at the same time. Or maybe you can do save for book and member, then I can just move on the borrow so that I can be able to see how can we just display, retrieve those book title and the member name and be able to assign and see those data. Basically, I can try to make it as easy as possible and be able to manage them. So let's go. Now I can go with the save for the members. Member, double click save. I have my save button here. Then as we're doing this, let me start by using SQL connection. Yes. Then the next step is trying to just define our query, right? So if you can't remember which query, so for me, I know it's just something like insert into member, right? If you want to can define those column, full name, phone, then email, address, values, then you define those values, right? But if you can't, you are not sure if the query just come from your DB, go on your member table, just right click, script table as you know we are building, well, we are just inserting create tool, new query editor, windows, then I'm going to get your insert query, which you're going to just take it and then just paste it in your Visual Studio, right? Even for delete and display, do the same thing, right? Okay, it's taking too much time. Let me keep moving. Okay, I know already my columns, right? Even if I can check from here, I have full name, phone, email, address. We say the join date can be now, for example, going to be .now or something else. So let me try to add those values. Basically, those values will be using them when connecting, right? Then name, there is phone. Let me try to use small letters. Phone, mail or email, then address, something like that. Let me remove those into member value, right? After defining the query, then let me have a SQL command cmd equal to new SQL command con with the connection, then our query, right? Then cmd dot parameter. Okay, we can clear them if you want before even moving. Then parameter add with value. The first value is going to be the name, right? Okay, just from the name. So as you remember, we were able to just edit those text boxes. What I'm saying, just this one, view design, those text boxes. I'll be saying this value from this text full name box, value from this phone box, value from this email box, value from this address box. So let me try to make this quick. That way to maintain. Okay. Then full name box dot text, right? cmd dot parameters dot add with values. The second value is from our query is phone. Then phone box dot text cmd dot parameters dot add value add with dot t add with value our value. My value is main. Then mailbox, is it email box? How did I call it? It's email box, right? Email box dot text. Last not least, is the address box dot text. Right? So I was talking when coming to the create tool, remember full name, the join date. We also have this join date, right? And I said we not have a placeholder to or something from the UI to just define the join date. I said I will be using like join date dot now. The time the member is saved, we consider it as the time for joining, right? Then yes. Then from the query, we also have the join date, right? Join, let me call it join. Then from here, we'll be having something like join, which is date time dot now, right? You have something like connection, which is connection dot open, something like if cmd dot execute query non-query is greater than 0, then have something like message box. You say like member added successfully. Then display the members. Just got it from here. And then that is it. I think I'm good to go, right? Okay, let me try to have all these codes, right? Copy them, go on the book form, save, just paste them. What are we going to change? Only from book values. What are the values we are going to consider from the book? Let me check from here. Book title, and to have author, something like ASPN, publisher, publisher, pub, then title, it will be titlebox.text, author, authorbox.text, SPN, SPN.box, publisher, publisher, box.text, this is the publisher, then publish here, publish here box dot text, or even you can even okay, let me consider this. Let me make the publish here dot now as I did for member. Sorry, date time dot now. That's mean we're going to remove it from the design to make it easy for you. Then after this, just display box. So easy for now. Let me try to run it, try to see if I'm getting some errors. Then we're going to troubleshoot those errors, right? Okay, manage members, test user, phone user dot Kigani. When I click save, nothing happened, right? I go back, but the member is added, right? The reason why is that's the success. This one, the success, the connection. I didn't close the connection. This is the error. Let me try to close the connection then. Okay, I can make it easy like this. Something like cmd.execute execute non-query, then say connection close, then message box dot row member added, success. Then display box. This is for box, right? I can even comment this one. Have something for member form. I was just forget to close the connection. Display members. I try to refresh it, hot reload. Manage members. Yes. If what? Book added successfully. Then you have the book, right? Let me check for books also. ICP. Publisher. Yes, sir. Then save success. There is this book added successfully, right? So let's make update, then delete. For update, right? I'm going just to copy all those codes from inside, just make one change. I think it's for the query, right? This is the save button for update. I'm trying to copy all this, then paste it here. Then I'm just going to change this query update. We don't update into the update member. Then set full name equal to at name, right? Phone equal to just this one. Full name equal to name, phone equal to this, email equal to this, address equal to address, let's just remove this, where member ID is equal to ID. Easy. Then we're just going to add the ID here because we just update from the given ID. Parameter.add with value ID. To make it easy, let me try to have something like a label from here. Or a text box. I hide one. Let's hide this. Update text. Let me call it like this, right? View code. Update. Update text dot text. Then that is it. Member updated success. Then display those members. Then let me have this to the book form also. View design, this button. Book form, view design. Double click. Then paste this update book. What are the column? View, Server Explorer. What are the column? Member. Title. Okay. Let me try to copy this save, right? Have update. Book set. Title. Title equal. Awesome. Equal. SBN equal. Publisher equal. Let me keep this. Where book ID equal to ID. And then from here, ValueMember ID go to ID, right? And I try to have an ID like this. Then define this update text. View design. View toolbox. Text box. Okay, book added successfully. Need to be book updated success. Then display. So let me try to save. And let's go back. Member. Okay, let me try to say I have this member from the DB. Close member, yes. Select with ID 4. Let me try to update this person with ID 4. Updated the name, phone, email, update, Kigali. Let me check what happened. System data client equals syntax near this, right? Okay, let me try to troubleshoot this error. I think from the update, I'm calling this join. Then I just submit it from the query. Let me try to remove this. I'll just comment it out. Let me repeat the process. Go on the book too. Just comment this publish here. Okay, let me try to add them to make it easy. To check from views, Server Explorer, publish here. Equal to this. Then on member 2 and comment this and say join date equal to join. Then let me try to run it. The member was with ID 4, right? I'm trying to just make these changes, right? Same error, right? I'm trying to troubleshoot it. Just got the error. I think there is this parenthesis. There is no open parenthesis, but when close, there is this one, this closing parenthesis. Then the same thing to the book form. Sorry, book form. No, for book form it's working. There is people who just hate errors, but just like them when it's come to troubleshoot them. Okay, let me try to start it. Okay, manage members, member with ID 4, test, yes, test, test. Member updated successfully, and as you can see it's test, right? Let me do the same to the book. Let me try to see which book am I going to update. Book information, right? This book with ID 201, right? 201. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, there is an error from here. Let me try to check the error. ID, yes. Is it book ID or book ID? Title, author, ISBN, publisher. there is two spaces here, extra spaces. Let me try to start it. Two zero one. Yes. 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 Oh, let me try to get what is the error from there. Let me check. There is this ID. Oh, there is publisher. Publisher. The column is called publisher, right? Let me check. View. Server Explorer. The column is publisher. Then it was S publisher from there. Then let me try to start again. Manage books. 201. Yes. 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 Okay. There is another error. Let's select from books. Invite the column name book ID. It's book ID with underscore, right? Okay, I think it's going to work from now. Manage books 201. Yes. 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 Now it's updated successfully. That is it, right? We can go through the delete. Delete is just one function and it's then easy for everyone to make it. Let me just come to delete. Basically, so when it's come to delete, basically let me come to the form, member form, delete button, right? I'm going to just have the using SQL connection con yes, then have my string query equal to delete from member where member ID, just this condition, where member ID equal to ID, right? Where member ID equal to ID, then SQL command cmd equal to new SQL command then cmd.parameter, that's what rating by id, not just rating all. This id id box dot txt. I'm going to define this id box just to make it easy. View toolbox, text box, id box, right? Dot text, then con dot open, just opening the connection, cmd dot execute non-query, connection dot, just close it. Then just a message box just saying like dot show member deleted, something like this, right? Then display the remaining members. So I'm taking this to the book form, sorry, view design, have the text box, just score it, delete text, something like this, and double click, just paste it here. This is the delete text.txt from book, where book id, just display the remaining books. Then easy. So let me try to run it. From our database, as you can see, when executing this book, we have this book with id 1. Let me try to delete it. Book, search by id, say book with id 1, delete it. Remember, like, okay, is it, this is the error, is book deleted. When refreshing, we remain with 2. Then let me test the member also. Which member we having? I have this member with id 4, right? id 4, delete, then member deleted, we remain with 3, deleted. So that is it for book and member. Then I'm trying to make as quick as possible the borrow, which is the many table we have to deal with, right? Okay, on the borrow form, right? The borrow form, view design. We only have, first of all, to we have to display those member, their names, then set their values. Display the books, then set their value, then save, update, and delete. I think, let me try to do display and save. I think update and delete is just changing the queries. So I'm going to have auto function, one for. Okay, let me try to make it easy. Let me try to have this function for displaying the one we're using to display books, and one for displaying members. This is display books, right? So let me come here in the borrow, right click, view code, have this function for display books, select all from books, this data field, this everything. The only difference, after filling the data, rather than showing them the data grid view, we are going to get them from the combo box. So I'm trying to check what is the name of my combo box. I think it's book combo dot data source equal to ds dot table tables, then which table, book table. Have my query selector from book, sta, then connection. Rather than having data table, let me try to have a data set. Data set ts equal to new data set. Then easy, right? sta.field ds, then which table, book, combo box, ds, sorry, this was the error, ds dot tables, tables, which table, book. So from the book combo, you want to display members, right? What are you going to display? Their full names. Am I right? Let me check from this Server Explorer. Member full name, right? Then what are you going to save? The member ID. Then that is it. Function for displaying box. Then let me try to display, sorry, book ID. I want to display the title, book ID, right? I'm having another function for displaying members. Select all from member, just table member, then member, full name, then save the member ID. So book combo is going to be member combo, member combo, then display. Okay, let me try to call those function in the initializer when they try. Let me try to see if I'm going to go to get those display box. Then when running, I'm able to get them right, or yes or no? Right. I'm able to get those member name, then book, right? Then for now, up to now, I can be able to get them. Let me try to save them here, then display, and then you can do up, then delete yourself, right? I have this function, then I have this function. So let me try to do save. View design, double click to save. Save button using SQL connection con equal to new this cmd dot parameters no string query for example going to be insert. When you don't remember the query, just come here, go on borrow, right click, script as create to new query editor windows. Then you're going to have your query, which is, sorry, come back here, borrow, right click, script as insert, sorry, rather than create, insert query. Then this is my query, insert into this. So let me keep the values. Okay, that is it, right? Into the values. Yes, then this is my query. After the query, okay, insert into borrow values, borrow ID. From here, borrow ID, member ID, book ID, borrow date, return status. SQL command, new SQL command with the connection and the query. Add with value. Okay, let me check on my form what am I adding. This member combo, then book combo. combo. Rather than using this text, I'm using select with value, their combo box. Select value, right? Book combo, select value, right? Yes, this is the member. Go get the member ID name, then just save the member ID, get the book title, then save the book ID, and then oh, borrow date. Borrow date. You try to have date dot date. Sorry, it's date time dot now. Then return status. Let me have something like return status. Let me try to have something like just a given status like borrowed or returned. Connection dot open. Just same thing like we did for the forms when saving, updating, I mean like this. Con dot open, con dot close, borrow, added success, then display borrows. We don't have this function yet. Then let me just make that function from here. Private. Basically, we're trying to just display our borrows in the data grid view, right? It's just a simple query. SQL command connection, sorry. Con to make it user friendly, equal to new SQL connection. Connect, just paste connection string. Then a string query, let's say like select or from bar, right? Then SQL data adapter SDA equal to new SQL data adapter with our query, right? Then our connection dataset st equal to new dataset, then st dot fill st with table bar data set, right? After having the data set, we are filling. Okay, we fill from the SqlDataAdapter dot fill, right? Then fill where in the data set. DataGridView dot data source equal to data set dot table. Which table borrow, right? Okay, now let me try to run. Manage borrows, test, send to the given book, then save. Correct syntax near what? Then let me try to check. So I can't see where is the error. Try to run it. I think I just okay. I just added those column, then added the values. Okay, sorry. This guy taking this book, then save. Okay. Cannot insert the value null into column borrow ID. It doesn't increment. Let me try to just add it here. The borrow ID to make it easy. I didn't set it to be auto incremented. That's the reason why. To be like borrow something like this, so I'm making it easy, like to be like, let me try to add view toolbox. Let me call it borrow text ID to make it easy, right? Just text. Let me try to run it. I say this ID, member name, book, then save. Added successfully. So thank you so much. So when it's come to update and delete, you're just going to change the query, update this, set this, test, and delete this. Same thing. Thank you so much.